Hello, my name's Mark Hampton, and today I'll be presenting a project planning proposal for the annual report for 2020 to 2021 for the Royal Botanic Gardens, Victoria. As a government-run body, the RBGV's annual report is not so much aimed at current or future investors, but at the general public. Comprehensive reporting of financials is still required, but less focus on growth or opportunity. Instead, the non-financial achievements should be highlighted. Visitation and usage by the public, conservation and sustainability, scientific achievements, and community engagement, e.g. with schools. Now let's look at some inspiration. This annual report by Brunel won a design award, and it has a very strong design concept that's been applied quite uncompromisingly. The oversized quotes on each page highlight the main points in the report and are also quite interesting visually. As you can see, when you scan across the full report on the right hand side, they stand right out and essentially allow someone to just get the gist of the report very quickly. The minimal colour scheme and the no frills approach are interesting. They indicate that this is all about the results. This second example here has quite a different focus than the first. Instead of being focused on results, it's focused more on the people and the culture of the organisation. STUW Group is a creative organisation, and you can see that in this report. So each of these spreads has different use of text, different image styles, but there's still a consistent grid being used for layout and the same typefaces. Now let's look at some narrative options for the annual report for the gardens. This first concept is to highlight the urban location of the gardens, that they're a respite in our busy city lives, a place for nature to continue on in our urban environment, and also that they're a key aspect of a city just as much as the arts and culture and architecture is. So in this concept, we use type and texture in a way that hints at these other aspects of city living. And of course, the layout will come into play and colour, etc. The second narrative here is focused on how the gardens are kind of a wrapped up experience, a whole world of plants, science, learning and culture in a little accessible bundle. And visitors can get back to nature without having to travel very far. And for those who would have trouble doing so, there's accessibility support and tours. With a herbarium, a library, a shop, a cafe, etc. It's an all-in-one botanical themed package. And these ideas can be conveyed using simple, clean design elements. Now let's look at the layout and grid design. So the report is an A4 size booklet. The grid design here is 5 by 6, and I've got a number of concepts here showing you how that could be laid out. This grid is interesting here in that, as we see down the bottom left, it can be used to create a set of even columns spread across the entire spread. Now some typeface choices. Firstly here we have two sans serif fonts, one of which the heading style Proxima Nova is quite heavy. This allows quick scanning of the text as the headings stand out so much from the rest of the text. The goal here is a clear corporate government style, something easy to read without a particularly strong character in the type, and we'll let the visuals and the information do the talking. The second option here uses a display typeface called Aestet Nova, which is a little bit like a font you might see in an almanac or a gardening book. And the idea here is to give the report some more character and give the reader a book-like experience. Now pulling together the concepts and the type, we've got our first cover design option here, the City Gardens narrative. These covers are meant to evoke the idea that the gardens are part of the city, part of the vibrant arts and culture of a city. There's a graffiti-ish quality to the plant stencils, and the bright colours, which are the RBGV brand colours, create a very strong contrast with the heavy type. The way the cover's been laid out and the wording also makes it feel more like a poster for an event. And our second option here, these are meant to look more like gardening books, something you would put on your coffee table. They've used close-up photographs of plants which give them a lot of impact, as you can see the structure and the texture of the plant. And in each of these, the plant is serving to highlight something about the design, from the first one with the fronds pulling you towards the text to the second one with the succulents being a texture, and the last one with a strong colour contrast between the plant and the background.